So there's one thing copywriters do when it comes to writing good sales emails, and that's acknowledging the fact that the majority of your audience is not ready. It's not ready to buy. It's not ready to start a new challenge. It's not ready to actually invest the commitment, the effort, and time to go after their goal. So what a lot of us started to do in recent years is simply acknowledging that fact. You'll never be ready. And what would normally be a sales speech is actually transformed into a coaching message, into motivation and into inspiration. And instead of saying, "Are you ready to achieve whatever?" we're actually saying, you'll never be ready. And in today's email teardown, I want to show you a really good example from one of the copywriters I actually look up to, and I think his emails are pretty good. I don't know if he writes them anymore, but if you want some inspiration and if you're a copywriter and you're thinking, where do I go to learn tactics that are actually working? Well, follow this guy. The subject line is simple. It doesn't even have personalization. Now, if you've been following 𝐃𝐨𝐧'𝐭, I hope that's how you pronounce his name. Most of the subject lines he uses are very short. This is actually a long one. So you'll never be ready. It's simple and it's effective because it is true. And to a lot of audiences, this is the exact reason why so many don't actually take action. And it's not about buying your stuff. In general, they don't take action because it's that perception that you have to wait for the perfect time. So let's see how he does it, or his copywriter. So you'll never be ready when the right opportunity presents itself. The stars are never going to align. There's a typo here. That's just not how this works, and it's true. And now, instead of saying more from his perspective, he's actually using a story. And stories are so good because it allows the reader to kind of immerse himself and kind of identify with the characters and whatever is happening. And we are humans. We kind of evolved thanks to storytelling and sharing our, wins and failures over the fire. And now we're doing it with email and social media and books and all of that. Now, there is another cool thing that's happening in this email. So the story they have selected is a true story. It's actually a legend, and it has some really big names that everybody can relate to and can okay, this is real, and it's more than just Chris, waking up from bed one day and deciding to do something, right? It's a big one. So let's go. I always think back to the story of Alexander the Great and the Battle of Gaugamela. Now, there's an important thing. I don't know if his audience is that into history. They might be. I know I loved history growing up. I actually wanted to go to study history in the university so I can be an archaeologist. But if you're planning on using a story similar to this one, just make sure that your audience knows who you're talking about, right? So I always think back to the story of Alexander the Great and the Battle of Gaugamela. His army numbered just 47,000 troops against the alleged 1 million plus soldiers of the Persian Empire. This didn't stop him. This is great because sometimes when you want to do something, it can feel like there's a million number of reasons we shouldn't start, right? And it can feel like we are so small and so unprepared to tackle this huge objective we have in our mind, right? So who are we to even battle 1 million soldiers, right? This is smart. This didn't stop him, because when you're on a mission for greatness, you go to war with the army you have, not the army you wish you had. This is a really good way to basically mirror what's going on in somebody's head when they're thinking about the dream. So if you're a business owner, you're gonna be like, oh my god, I have this dream to build the biggest whatever. And then all the doubts come at you. And it's like, I'm not ready. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough resources. I don't have enough time. I don't have the skills. I don't have the team. The market is small, or whatever you're using in your head to justify not going ahead with something. Ooh, this is a really good one. Now, Alexander defeated the Persian forces and went on to cement his legacy as the greatest conqueror to ever live. Ooh, Ooh, conqueror. That's awesome. That's an awesome word to use in this email because that's true. You conquer your fear. He took the leap. Failure was not an option. We punch keyboards and make words appear on a computer screen. This obviously is not the one-to-one comparison by any stretch of the imagination, obviously. But I bet that wherever you are at in your journey, you're probably coming to a crossroads where a decision will have to be made. Will you stay comfortable or will you burn the lifeboats and decide that you won't stop until you get what you want? Ooh, this is a big question because a lot of people, they say they want things, but they don't commit to actually do the things they need to do to achieve the things they want to achieve. Not the best kind of copy you'd expect from a copywriter, right? But it's true, think about it. So if you want to lose weight and you've been at it on and off for a long time, right? And you're not there yet. What is it actually? Do you actually want it? And are you ready to just not be comfortable? And are you ready to change, actively commit to changing your lifestyle and your decision-making process to get where you want? And do you really, really want it? And it's not necessarily just about losing weight and getting trained. It's about learning a new language, learning a new skill, building a business, being a copywriter, right? When I launched my first email marketing agency, 𝐟𝐨𝐫𝐞, I never owned an agency before. I wasn't ready for the opportunity, but I went to war with the army I had, and I figured it out along the way. This is where growth happens. There will come a point in your own hero's journey where you will have to do the same. Something to think about. Nice! Okay. Now for the offer, and this is actually a reminder to watch a replay he did with Casey Stanton about how you can become a fractional chief marketing officer. And this is good. Let's see. So there was a point in their lives where they didn't know if they had the skills or the confidence, yet they persisted so they could live the life they wanted. If you're at this crossroads yourself, you should watch the webinar and then schedule a call with Casey's team. You have no idea what's waiting on the other side of your fear. I use that as well. You have no idea how good things can be. Click here to watch how to become a fractional chief marketing officer training replay going away soon. And now there are some resources, but I think this is really good, right? Because it makes you think, it makes you want it. It feels like someone understands where you are right now. Now, it's not going to be as effective to the majority of people reading this because you have to be in a specific time of your life and considering the opportunities at hand. For me, it resonates because I'm right here. Like, do I actually want it and what do I want? So this is good from like a life philosophy kind of way. However, to a very specific group, this email is going to be like, oh my God, yes. Because if you're like a copywriter and you're thinking, okay, what else can I do? A lot of copywriters can become marketing officers. For me, it was the other way around. I was first a marketing person and did everything possible in marketing, including running marketing departments. And then I specialized in copywriting and then email marketing and sales copywriting. But a lot of the copywriters I know, they have their hands in all these different marketing departments. And the good copywriters, they need to understand marketing strategy and all the other bits that come before you even have to write an email to sell something. And I think for this specific group of people, this is a really good email. Do you want to know how it's possible to write really good copy? Well, this video, what you just watched, is just one of the ways you can do that. By studying how other people write, by reflecting at how that makes you feel, especially if you're part of their target audience. That's how you begin to get better at this. By studying the best copy that creates an emotional reaction and potentially triggers a buying behavior within you. That's the purpose of this whole series that I'm doing every week on YouTube. So if you want to learn how to improve your skills as a copywriter, click follow and leave me a comment or even recommend emails that you'd like me to review.